Hi, and welcome to Bad Curling Signing with Gabrielle. Hopefully we will get someone to redo this, someone who is deaf or hard of hearing or part of the deaf community who's able to give you current curling signs and maybe slightly more correct signs in general. I learned to sign about 20 years ago when I was curling with Karen and Jody. These signs were incredibly helpful, not only for that team, but also with some of my hearing teams. Often you'll play in an environment that's really loud and really chaotic, and it can be hard to hear your own team members. So reinforcing the things that you're saying on the ice with signs can be incredibly helpful, even for all hearing teams. With that, good luck, and I really appreciate all of you doing this, and good curling. Hi, I'm Gabrielle, and these are some basic words about curling. Where, guard, or if you're holding your broom and you only have one hand free, guard. Draw, take out, raise. The distance your hands are apart indicates how big a raise it is. If your hands are close together, it's a small raise. If your hands are really far apart, that's a big raise. Same. I'm making a Y hand shape. Same. If you want to show an A shot and a B shot, first, point to the shot that's your A shot and show the A hand sign. Then point to the shot that's your B shot and show the B hand sign. Then point back to your A shot and show A. So it's A, B, A. Shooting and sweeping. When the skip wants to tell you to sweep, they're going to raise their hand and say, sweep, sweep. When they want you to stop, stop. Stop sweeping. If a shot is wide, hold your hand out to the side where the shot is wide and say broom or wide. If you want the sweepers to sweep for curl, signal this. For carve, carve, carve. Clean, clean. This is also the same word for nice. So nice to meet you. If you want to indicate that you're shot, there are two ways to do it. The first is using ASL. You might say, were shot, or were 1 and 2. You can also say, the other team, they are 1, or they are 1 and 2. The other way is to use a lawn bowling sign. So in lawn bowls, to indicate that you are one shot, you'll tap your head once. To indicate that you're 1 and 2, you'll go 1, 2. So you're counting 2 points. To signal that your opponent is 1, you'll tap your leg for 1 point. To signal that they have 2 points, you'll signal 1, 2. So you signal the total number of points the opponent is currently counting. When you're sweeping a rock and you want to indicate that it's heavy or light, you put your hand up to signal that it's heavy, down to signal that it's light, or in the middle to signal that it's okay. If it's super heavy, you'll raise your hand way, way up, or super light way down below. And as usual, you want the outside sweeper to be doing most of the communication. So the person who's closest to the rock, who's on the inside of the curve, they're the one who's got their broom down all the time and is looking at the rock. But the other person, they're doing the timing, and they're also doing the communication back and forth between the skip and the sweeper. If that second person can also be looking and indicating to the sweeper whether to sweep or not sweep by using their hands. So if you're the outside sweeper, you look at the skip says sweep, and you make this motion over the rock so that the sweeper whose head is down while they're sweeping can see it. If they're supposed to stop, again, one hand still to stop, and then like this again to sweep. If you are the shooter, you can help with communication as well. So after you throw your rock, if you're able to, get up and slide behind the rock so that you're right behind the stone, so that you are able to indicate with your hand whether to sweep or not. So you have your eyes on the skip and you can indicate sweep or stop. Sweep or stop. Right over the rock so that your sweepers can see it while they have their heads down. Hit weights. Let's start with the light weights. Hack, tap your shoe. Bumper, tap your bumper. Control, normal, heel. As with everything in curling, some teams use some different signals. So teams that are more experienced and use even more hit weights will use this signal for normal, putting their hand across their chest, and this signal for firm, putting their hand on their shoulder. Here are some general signs for curling. First, curling. Like you're throwing an intern. Curling. Good. 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 Curling. Good. Curling. Thank you. Thank you. Or one-handed. Thank you. Please. Please. Applause. Applause. This is like clapping. Applause. Excellent. Well done. Sorry. Sorry. Better. Better. Understand. It's like a light bulb going off. Understand. I don't understand. I don't understand. What? What? Ready. You make an R hand sign with your fingers. Team. I'm making a T sign with my fingers. My name, Gabrielle. My sign name is Gabrielle for my curly hair. Rock. Rock. Ice. Ice. Freeze. Freeze. If you want to make it more visible from all the way across the sheet, freeze. Freeze. If you want your sweepers to stay close, but to wait just a minute before sweeping, signal wait. Wait. Or with one hand, just wait. This sign for wait means to wait for a moment or for a certain amount of time, as opposed to wait like the weight of a rock, which is like this. So wait for like a scale, like a pound measurement. Mistake. My mistake, or my mistake, my bad. Why? This is like the letter Y sign. Why or why? Like this, why? Improve. Improve. Or to make lots of improvements. So I've seen two ways to make the sign for fast, and you can ask Michael or any deaf person you know what the current best sign is or what sign they use. The sign I originally learned is fast. Fast, like pulling the trigger of a gun. But what I've seen more recently is with two hands, fast. Slow. Slow. Button. Button. For the sign for broom, we've used a couple of different things over the years. Originally, this was broom, but now I've seen people use this for sweep and also for broom. So again, you should ask Michael or another deaf person you know. Friend. friend, deaf, deaf, hard of hearing. If I want to sign that I'm a hearing person, I sign this, as though I'm speaking. To sign positions in curling, we've always used first, second, third, and skip, spelled out. Finger spelling, which is great when you don't know what the sign is, so A, B, C, D. Otherwise, you use sign language, which you can also call ASL. In our case, in the US, that's the particular sign language that's used here.